At Wind River Resort and Casino, we like to celebrate life's little moments. Oh, and the big ones too, because around here, when you're completely in the moment, that's when the magic happens. Come in and find your moment at Wind River Resort and Casino.
A happy Thursday morning to you. I'm Chief Meteorologist Mike Krueger. Thank you so much for joining us here on Weather NorCal. Of course, it is Coffee with Krueger every weekday morning at 7 a.m. So glad you could join us here this morning. A little late, in fact, about 2 minutes late. Had a little bit of a late start to the day here, but we're getting going. Now, here's what I'm going to say off the bat. Of course, the big headlines, everyone's watching so they can figure out what's going on with the rain, the snow that we got in the forecast. It's been something we've been talking about all week long so far. One of the things that I've been talking about a little bit is the fact that we're still seeing a lot of discrepancies, and really since day one there have been discrepancies in the long-range forecast models as far as the timing, the intensity, when the rain's going to stop as we go into next week, all of that. Yesterday it looked pretty good, and then this morning I get up and I see a major discrepancy again. Not only with the long range, but even for Saturday. Saturday gets a little tricky. So this is where we've got to start to kind of try to iron out some of those details. What I do feel very confident in is what we expect today and what we expect on Friday. Beyond that, Saturday in particular, my confidence level goes down a little bit. Sunday feels pretty good, but then anything after Sunday, it gets very tricky again. So there's a lot to unpack here. We're going to talk about all of that in our deeper dive forecast here a little bit later. But we got something, we got a few things to talk about. Not Coke. Oh my gosh, I already forgot how to say your name. I'm terrible. But Stephen is saying good morning at 31 degrees in Durham. It is cold. Anyway, look at it. In fact, I just looked out the window this morning. Frost everywhere. Ugh, in the valley. Cold, cold, cold. Thank you, Stephen, for the report there. It's cold pretty much anywhere you go, especially in the higher elevations. You've got single digits for places like El Turris, for example. So let's get into it. In fact, let's take you into Krueger's Quickcast. Now, Krueger's Quickcast is just a quick look at the forecast for today, and that's what we're going to do right now. Let's get you right to it. So there it is. Yeah, cold. Upper 20s, low 30s in the valley right now. 7 degrees is what we're looking at. Cook, like you're cooking. There you go. Remember, like you're cooking something. Thank you, Stephen. Stephen Cook. I don't know. All right. 31 degrees for Mount Shasta City. 7 degrees in El Turris. 19 for Weaverville. 16 in Hayfork. And low 30s out towards Hoopa, Willow Creek. And yeah, with some of those clouds along the coast, it's actually more mild on the coast in the low 40s. Now, right down, taking a look out the door here this morning, there you can see we are seeing mainly clear skies for the valley. Now, some clouds along the coast. In fact, let's take it to the cameras. This right now is looking out of Trinidad, and really not much in the way of low clouds or fog, but we are certainly seeing some clouds out there this morning. I'm going to take you out to what it looks like right now this morning on the coast. Kind of hard to see. It's dark. Let's take you to it right here. You can see the overcast skies. Again, we're not looking at them low. We're not looking at lower visibility as a result, but what we are seeing is the clouds moving in. That's the reason why it's so mild out there this morning, especially along the coast. We saw those temperatures, right? So we're talking low 40s, but colder for places like Siskiyou County, Modoc County, 22, and Eastern Mountains around 26 degrees. There's your satellite image. There it is. Yep. Yeah, we're seeing that storm system. It's approaching. This is exciting. Again, the projection of what this storm is going to do, feeling pretty confident. And look to the south and west of that. That's going to be reinforced with more rain coming into the weekend, too. Wind gusts, not that bad right now. That will be changing, though. In fact, there's a wind advisory for tonight through 7 p.m. Friday for Siskiyou County until 9 a.m. Friday for in particular, the inland areas of Del Norte and Humboldt counties. You can see gusts over 40 miles per hour. Not the case this morning, right? We're seeing much calmer winds there. And you can see the wind's picking up, though, this afternoon. So tonight is when the wind advisory comes into play, but look at central Siskiyou County. I mean, you're talking easily over 40 miles per hour there, and some stronger winds along the coast beginning to pick up. And then by tomorrow morning, everyone's getting in on this wind, even the valley. But This is not a major wind event for most of us. Where we could see the potential for power outages would be in central Siskiyou County, maybe even along the coast, where we're seeing some of those stronger winds as well. But I'm not anticipating it to be a big issue. Just gusty, very strong winds. All right, there's the winter weather advisory for the areas in purple. That's until 10 o'clock Saturday morning. And a winter storm warning. That was actually upgraded to a winter storm warning for northern Trinity County. Now, does this mean we need to be concerned about travel on Highway 299? A little bit. But when we go into the forecast here, you'll see that I'm really not anticipating a lot of snow on Highway 299. But Scott Mountain on Highway 3, sure, yeah, plenty of it. All right, let's take you into Futurecast. There's the low clouds, there's fog, just the clouds in general along the coast today, but it's dry. Increasing clouds for everyone else. A lot of those high and mid-level clouds out there. Okay, so let's take you tonight. This is midnight tonight. Now the rain is hitting the coast. Winds are picking up. Rain is heaviest for Delaware County as we'd expect. Not so wet in Trinity County just yet, or to the east of that. You can see by tomorrow morning, 8 a.m., there's the rain overspreading the region. There's the snow. Okay, so blue is where snow is, pink is a rain-snow mix, but for all intents and purposes, a lot of time can be snow. Take a look at where you're going if you're traveling in the mountains. Look at Mount Shasta on I-5. See the snow there? Yeah, it's not out of the question to maybe see some chain requirements tomorrow morning on I-5. Look at Highway 299, Buckhorn Summit. Let's see if I can draw anything or if I can at least use my Buckhorn Summit. I'm going to put my little cursor right there. That's where Buckhorn Summit is. It's borderline, folks. It's borderline where we could be looking at kind of a rain-snow mix maybe. But if you look on Highway 299, it looks snow-free just in the form of rain. Highway 36 West, yeah, maybe a little bit of snow. Look it to the east, right? Some of those higher mountain passes east of I-5, most likely chain requirements. That is tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. Now the thing is, and I don't think I go beyond that. Let's see if it'll, oh shoot. Okay, there we go. All right, so again, we're going to go into the deeper dive as we go into Friday afternoon, Saturday, Sunday. I had a little bit of a technical glitch there. All right, so here you can see here the ski report. And I'm showing this to you because this right here is really the big news. It should be. If I could get my clicker to work or something to work. It doesn't want to work. All right, let's stop it. Let's get going here. Let's start this again. Now it should work. There we go. All right, let's take a look at the snow out of the ski park. That's right. That's through Saturday. Yeah, right? Could we see a couple of feet of snow up at Mount Shasta Ski Park? Sure, let's do it. I'd say a foot, 1 to 2 feet of snow. Very good possibility through Saturday. That's not including what we can see as we go through next week too. All right, so it's a start. We're doing it. We're getting more snow on the ski park. All right, here's what we have for today. Increasing clouds for everyone. Mostly cloudy skies for the coast, but dry for everyone today. All right, I think there's something wrong with, oh no, it's not. Well, let's take you back. I'm having some weird keyboard issues. All right, so 7-day outlook. Okay, so let's kind of talk about this for a second. Thursday, of course, today it's dry. Friday, I think everyone's going to see the wet weather. It'll dissipate by the afternoon, but wet weather for everybody, including snow in the mountains, which we talked about. Now, you see the AM there for Redding and Red Bluff, but Chico not the AM. Well, here's the thing. It looks like Saturday morning is the main event. Saturday afternoon, really Saturday morning, a lot of it's drying out Saturday morning, Saturday afternoon. And then Sunday, more rain. And then look at Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. You see you've got the clouds but no rain. That doesn't mean it's not going to rain. That just means this is kind of an indication of the discrepancies I'm seeing in the long-range forecast models. Depends on which one you look at. We're going to take a look at that here in just a second, but I just want to kind of talk about this right here. Now, let's take a look at the coast, inland, and for Trinity County. AM. I think there's a very good chance that most of the day will be dry on the coast, especially for Delaware County, northern Humboldt. Inland, same story. Weaverville, I think you've got a chance for some showers in the morning, but by mid-morning, it might be dry and dry the rest of the day. Sunday, maybe another round. Now look at this. And then, of course, the same story for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. All right, look at El Turris. Notice the snow levels, 4,500 feet. I've been talking about snow levels rising this weekend because the warmer subtropical moisture moves in. It mixes out the colder air. Here's the thing. Saturday, it mixes out the colder air, form of rain. Sunday, colder air coming in from the north, it actually drops the snow levels again, possibly, and could create some travel delays. And then, of course, the same story for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. All right, so I'm talking about these discrepancies in the long-range forecast models. This is something I've been talking. There are two main forecast models that we look at of course, then there's others that we kind of look at as well. But the main ones, and you hear us talk about this all the time, anywhere, me, anyone else, any other forecaster. The European forecast model and the GFS. The GFS comes out of America. I wish we just called it the American forecast model. Maybe we can get Trump, like he's calling it the Gulf of America. Maybe he could call the GFS just the American forecast model. I don't know. All right, fun. All right, anyway, so there's some major discrepancies for Saturday. Sunday look okay, and then all of next week, some big discrepancies. And what I'm going to do here, I'm going to pull up some forecast models. And I'm going to show you what I'm talking about here. Let's get you to it. Right now, we are looking at, let's start with the GFS, the American, because that's what we typically kind of talk about here. All right, so as we go into Saturday, there's Friday, right? Here's Friday. You see the rain? There's Friday afternoon. There's the rain. There's Friday night. See how we're getting a bit of a break, but then more rain coming in Saturday. Look at Saturday morning. Look at Saturday afternoon. See how it all pushes to the south and east. We're dry. And we'll be seeing that here in our shorter range forecast model. It looks pretty good there. Okay? So notice that. I'm going to take you to the European forecast model. Look at Saturday. Friday looks good, right? We're still looking at rain on Friday. Look at Saturday. All day long. Saturday morning, Saturday midday, Saturday afternoon. Rain all day long. Again, there's the European forecast model at 5 p.m. or 4 p.m. on Saturday. There's the GFS. You see the difference there? That's Saturday. We're not even getting you next week. So here's Sunday afternoon. Here's Sunday afternoon for the GFS, American. All right, they both agree that we're going to be looking at that atmospheric river coming on in. But look at the difference here. The European forecast model not as aggressive with the colder air. See how we're not seeing any snow over Northern California? But look at all the snow on the GFS, the American model. So some discrepancies there, but at least they both agree that it will be wet. So very good confidence there. All right, now we take you into Monday. Look at Monday. You see how the rain and the atmospheric river is pointed to our south? Let's take a look at the European. Oh my goodness, what's this? Monday is completely wet. The atmospheric river is pointed right at us on Monday. So again, let's take a look at the difference between the two. European, GFS. Quite a difference, right? All right, let's advance into Tuesday. Tuesday, GFS. Take a look at Tuesday, the European forecast model. All right, it's pushing a little bit to the south, but still wet, right? Big differences. See that? GFS, European. All right, let's take you into Wednesday. All right, now it looks like Wednesday, we've got the system coming in from the northwest that could bring us a little bit of rain, especially for the coast. Let's go into Wednesday for GFS. Okay, Wednesday looks fairly dry. And Wednesday looks fairly dry for a lot of us, but not everybody. The coast. So see what's happening here? Let's go into Friday just for fun. There's Friday. No, that's Thursday. Excuse me. We were looking at Wednesday. There's Thursday. Let's take into Thursday with the GFS. All right. So Thursday, both agree. So we're starting to kind of see that Thursday. So you get the idea. the European is certainly, for Monday, Tuesday in particular, fairly aggressive with it being wet, whereas the GFS, fairly dry for Monday, Tuesday. So there you go. This is a lot of times what you see a lot of when you see people on YouTube who don't have a sophisticated weather computer like I do. They'll use models like this and they show you that, and it's pretty raw. I don't like showing these because it is pretty raw, but I just thought that was interesting and why the forecast is so darn tricky. It really is, folks. And so we got a lot to unpack in the bigger forecast here. All right, let's take a look at the cameras out there. And it looks still a little dark. There's a look at the spillway, Lake Oroville. There's a look at Lake Oroville right now. Calm winds. And the reason we can say that, you look at the lake. It looks like glass. Let's see if there's any kind of breeze. If we're patient, sometimes we can see that little streamer in the upper right-hand corner of the screen when the camera moves. Will it move? Right now, I wish I had the Jeopardy tune on here because looks like the camera might be frozen, because usually it would have advanced by now. Not the case. Looks like it's frozen. Nope. It's just the cars are stopped. Looks frozen to me. There is Main Street Chico on Highway 32. Traffic is flowing smoothly there. Take a look at Highway 99 at Neal Road. No big concerns there. Take it to Highway 44 at Sundial Bridge Drive in Reading. Looks good. And no, today is Thursday. So before we get to the deeper dive, we've got a sponsored segment called NorCal Ag, thanks to Lassen Canyon Nursery. And as you know, last week was the bull and gelding sale. I talked to a business over there. And it was kind of interesting to kind of see a niche business just for people in the ag community. So take a look at this, kind of interesting here. We're going to meet a manager of a business that kind of really focuses on the ag community. Hello everyone, I'm Mike Krueger from Weather NorCal, and you're watching another episode of Ag Report, sponsored by Lassen Canyon Nursery. With you right now, I've got TJ, and you are the
West Coast Manager for Sullivan Supply.
There you go. That's his title right there. So what exactly is West Coast Sullivan?
Okay, so we're based out of Iowa. So John and Dee Dee Sullivan started the business in '89. Our headquarters is still in Dunlap. They started a store in Lodi, California. We've got a storefront there back in '99. And so what we do is we're a livestock grooming company. And we go to basically county fairs, state fairs. We go to all the national shows. And it's for the 4-H and FFA kids and jackpot season. We supply product for cattle, sheep, goats, and hogs.
You know, it's really amazing to me that you can have this little niche, right? But it's not a little niche, it's a pretty big one, which allows you to have such a successful business. When people come here, are they like every time they're coming to the show, they know they can always count on coming to you guys to get what they need for the year or whatever? Or?
Yes, so when I took over 3 years ago, we went to 44 locations for the year. Last year we were at 82, and now we're going to be close to over 100. We do 5 states, so I take care of Oregon, Idaho, Nevada, California, and then we have the Arizona Nationals also.
So what are some of the main things that you guys sell?
We sell, the main things we sell are grooming supplies for like soaps, conditioners, daily care for hair and hide. And then we have a metal product too. So we have show boxes. In the cattle world, we do clipping chutes, fitting chutes. We do front panels, but mostly like aerosols and liquids for shampoo. We do like what they call about fitting. So if they're getting an animal ready for the show, we do like powderful, tail adhesive, and then there's products that once you put that stuff in there, you got to take it out. So then we've got product to release that stuff. But yeah.
Definitely very interesting. It's pretty clear to you maybe at this point that I'm not the biggest agriculture person in the world. So it's always interesting to learn something new, and I hope you all learn something new here as well. Just kind of, again, the different things that go into agriculture, not just looking at the bull and gelding sale and the bulls and the works, but also all the stuff that you've got to do behind the scenes as well. And that's kind of what we're kind of learning about here. So again, thank you for your time. It's nice meeting you, and we'll see you next time for Ag Report. Ag Report, that is sponsored by Lassen County Nursery. That's not what I want to do. I want to go to me right here. There you go. So there's your Ag Report. I want to thank once again Lassen County Nursery for their support. Really, since day one of the NorCal Ag Report, it has been Lassen County Nursery that has been sponsoring this segment. So appreciate their support of this segment and, of course, Weather NorCal in general. Without our sponsors, what I do here would not be possible. So some of you are kind of checking in this morning here. Good mornings. We've got Catherine Schmidt saying 11.3 degrees in the Castle area, saying she's ready for the snow. Hopefully it warms up. Her coffee's even cold. Mine gets cold pretty quickly too. I should maybe think about getting one of those coffee warmers, you know, that it sits at the bottom there. Good morning, Mike. Thanks for the weather and all that you do for the North State. And of course, we got Curtis Brown saying thanks for the detailed breakdown of this next front. We did that a little bit earlier. If you missed it, then when this all uploads, you can go to the website, weathernorcal.com, click on the Coffee with Krueger section, and you can watch the pre-recorded version of what you're watching right now. But we can't do that now because we're recording it right now, and we're live. So there you go. Well, what do you say we take you into your deeper dive forecast and really kind of get into the nit and gritty. Is that what they call it, nit and gritty? Is that the expression? I don't know. I think so. Let's really get down to the details. But first, before we do that, we've got to mention our sponsor of Coffee with Krueger and, of course, Weather NorCal in general, right? At Wind River Resort and Casino, enjoy friendly service, a wide variety of specials and promotions, plus all of your favorite slots and table games. Again, without our sponsors, Weather NorCal would not exist. So, next time you see a commercial, next time you see an ad, I want you to be grateful for what you see, because without it, you wouldn't have Weather NorCal. You wouldn't have my 25 plus years of experience giving you the forecast here in Northern California. So our sponsors, if you see them and you need their services, I want you to go to them and let them know that I sent you. All right, there are the temperatures right now. Boy, we climbed up a whole 1 degree in the last 15 minutes for Alturas. From 7 to 8. Woo! Yeah, I bet you're ready to take off your coats now. Oh, man, 8 degrees. No, thank you. 18 degrees out towards Susanville, 17 in Chester. We got widespread frost across the area, including the valley. 19 for Weaverville, 16 in Hayfork. But where it's more mild, and I talked about this yesterday, with the cloud cover that they're seeing, that's keeping the temperatures more mild. As a result, low 40s. Clear skies for Hoopa and for Willow Creek. Colder. Low to mid 30s there. All right, so here's your weather headlines. One more dry and mild day with increasing clouds. We're going to keep it dry today. Low clouds, fog on the coast, maybe some fog in some areas here. Showers, mountain snow returns tonight and tomorrow, and this unsettled weather pattern will continue, most likely through most, if not all, of next week. But we are seeing a lot of discrepancies in the forecast models, which we talked about a little bit earlier. And we'll get into that here a little bit here. But the winds, yeah, not that. I keep forgetting to take Etna out of there. All right, there's your wind alerts. Central Siskiyou County, that is. From 10 p.m. until 7 p.m. Friday, 10 p.m. tonight through 7 p.m. Friday. South gusts, 40 to 50 miles per hour. Big rigs, high-profile vehicles, that's the big issue, right? Del Norte, Humboldt counties, minus the immediate coast, which honestly, the immediate coast is still going to be seeing some gusty winds too. So I don't know why that's just not part of it. But there's a wind advisory, 9 a.m. Friday, from 10 p.m. tonight until 9 a.m. Friday. That's when the strongest winds will be, is tonight, early tomorrow morning. Possible power outages, it's not out of the question, especially when you're talking gusts over 40 miles per hour. That's not out of the question. We've seen that before. So the winds for today, they're just increasing, especially for the coast and especially for central Siskiyou County. Elsewhere, it's not that much of an issue. It's tonight, it's tomorrow morning, midday. That's when the winds pick up for everybody else, 20, even 30 miles per hour for the valley. Friday afternoon, Friday evening, the winds died down. Saturday morning, winds not as bad. Saturday afternoon, a little breezy off to the east, but a little breezy in other areas as well. But again, the main winds will be tonight, tomorrow morning, tomorrow afternoon, and then the winds die down a little bit for your Saturday. Let's talk about the snow. We do have a winter weather advisory for the areas in purple here. That's until 10 o'clock Saturday morning. This was a winter weather advisory yesterday, now it is a winter storm warning. And that's just because we're expecting some heavier snow than anticipated here for northern Trinity County. Now, does this mean you need to be concerned about Highway 299 West? At this point, I'm not terribly concerned about it. So let's take a look at the snow totals first and foremost. And there you can see here, these are my projections. If we can get the ground cold enough for Mount Shasta City, I think you could easily see 2 to 4 inches of snow. And that might even be on the conservative side, quite honestly. Elsewhere, you're kind of looking at Alturas is just because of the lack of rain and snow coming through. You might see a dusting of snow there. Fall River Mills as well. Bernie, I think you're borderline. You're 3,000 feet. Snow levels will be around 3,000 to 4,000 feet. As you start heading east of the valley, they tend to be a little bit higher than, say, to the west. So Bernie may have a hard time getting some of the snowflakes. Maybe a mix, but that may be the extent of it. We could see some snow around Shingletown at 3,500 feet. And then, of course, Viola, better chances, right? So chain requirements are a possibility, especially as you head east of Shingletown. Chester, you might see some accumulating snow. Otherwise, Susanville, just kind of a lack of moisture, looking at maybe a bit of a mix, maybe a light dusting, and that would be about the extent of it. Weaverville, Hayfork, I don't see it happening for you. I think you're just too low in elevation, even though this is going to be a colder kind of storm system, at least initially. All right, so here's the big picture. Low pressure, atmospheric river right here. This is all heading our way. Boom, right in Northern California, we'll see it. It's going to bring us the rain. It's going to bring us the snow in the mountains. So let's walk you through the timing of it. There's Thursday, today, right? Increasing clouds, but dry. Probably still a lot of sunshine off to the east, though. And what's that behind me here? We got rain. Is this rain actually going to make its way in? Yes, it is. So there you can see 3,000, 4,000 feet. Most of the rain at this point, 11 p.m. Thursday, tonight, is going to be on the coast, and especially Del Norte County. Most of what you see here probably won't even reach the ground. It's so dry still. But then it all pushes in by tomorrow morning. So let's break this down and talk about if you have to travel in the mountains tomorrow. 8 a.m. tomorrow. Look at this. That's mainly snow on I-5 there. Could we see some chain requirements on I-5 tomorrow morning? Not out of the question. Highway 89, of course, yeah. Snowman Summit, absolutely. I think without a doubt there will be chain requirements there. Plenty of snow up there. All right, so here's Buckhorn Summit right here. I don't see any snow there, right? We'll see. I think Buckhorn Summit may be borderline, seeing some of that snow, so we'll see. And then, of course, Highway 36 West, yeah, maybe a little bit of snow. And, of course, off to the east, I think we'll see plenty of chain requirements there. It's pretty typical, especially with a storm like this. We see most of the chain requirements east of I-5, and then we start seeing less and less as you head on I-5 and even west of I-5. But still, that potential. Now, midday, look at this. And not only that, it picks up a little bit in intensity. We're seeing the darker shades of blue indicating heavier snow. All right, so yeah, I-5 near Mount Shasta City, yeah, possibility. There you can see Highway 299, though. Looks like mainly in the form of rain. Highway 36, mainly in the form of rain. And also notice it's dissipating. Let's take you into about 5 p.m. It's beginning to kind of break apart. Looks like it's the snow levels are starting to kind of rise a little bit here by Friday afternoon. Maybe some of that colder air mixing out with this warmer air. So I think it'll probably transition over to rain for Mount Shasta City by Friday, 5 p.m. And then, of course, down to the south. But you see how it's breaking apart for Friday. So Friday night, a bit of a break, a little bit, right? Then by Friday night into Saturday morning, look at this. We're seeing the rain. We're seeing the snow in the mountains. And 3,500, 4,500 feet still. I think it'll probably be in the form of rain for Mount Shasta City. It'll be close, maybe a mix. And then, of course, snow towards Alturas, snow in Susanville, but pretty heavy, as you can see here. That atmospheric river is in full force at this point. But look at Crescent City, 6 a.m. Saturday, right? We talk about these atmospheric rivers. They're narrow columns or narrow bands of moisture, and they can aim at different parts of really the West Coast, Pacific Northwest, California, Southern California. This one's pointed at Northern California. A lot of times there can sometimes be a sharp edge on either side of that narrow band of moisture where you see rain and then no rain. And we're clearly seeing that right here. Look at Crescent City, dry, 6 a.m., But everyone else looking at wet weather, usually it's the opposite, right? Kind of interesting. But look what happens by 12 noon. It shifts to the south very rapidly, and we dry things out. Now again, I was talking about this a little bit earlier. If we were looking at the European forecast model, this would all still be wet. Not the case with this model here. So I want you to be prepared for the fact that it still may be wet even around midday Saturday. Now the European does show it kind of shifting a little bit to the south Saturday afternoon, Saturday evening, but based on this model, it kind of dries out. Then on Sunday, maybe some more wet weather. We'll get into that here in a second. Here's some of the forecast rainfall totals through Saturday evening. We could see over an inch for some of us in the valley. Typical rain shadowed areas may be closer to a half an inch to 3/4 of an inch. Less in the way of that wet weather in the northeast, obviously heavier rainfall. Look at that, over 2 inches possibly for Crescent City. Kind of a little lack there. I think it'd probably be over an inch for Eureka, and of course for Hoopa, Weaverville, Hayfork, some good rain. Some decent rain out towards Etna, Wairika, about a half an inch rain there. So looks pretty good, looks pretty healthy through at least the first half of the weekend. Let's go ahead and take a look at, there it is, the big picture. So there it is. Ridge of high pressure, that's what we have right now. That's why we're still dry. This storm system is what's moving in. See it? There it is. There's the rain. Now we looked at that in our, future cast here. What I want to point out here, this is the main atmospheric river. See that break? This is the first little batch of moisture that the storm system's tapping into, and that's why we're seeing the rain and snow. Then this, boom, right there. See how it kind of Saturday and then Saturday afternoon, it's down to our south. So look where the atmospheric river is pointed. Sacramento, Bay Area, not us. This model is showing that. As I mentioned, the European forecast model has it pointed over us. So that's where things get tricky. All right, then here's Sunday. Both forecast models, GFS, which is this one, European, not this one, agree that this is going to happen. What the difference is between those two, look at the cold air coming down. This could bring us some low snow levels again. So the snow levels starting off low, they go up on Saturday, drop again on Sunday because of this colder air moving in. However, if we look at the European, the colder air is not as aggressive, and we don't see those lower snow levels as a result. So already, just a few days out going into the weekend, we're seeing a lot of the discrepancies in the long range. But look at Monday, look at Tuesday, look where the atmospheric river is going. It's shifting to the south again. But this right here is important to watch too, because this is helping to bring down the colder air. But you see how just overall, maybe a passing shower here and there for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, but the European, not a passing shower. Rain each and every single day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So once again, this is what we're seeing here. And again, it just gets tricky because when you see this big discrepancy in the forecast models, and you're saying, well, Mike, why can't you just project on your own? Is it going to rain or snow, or rain or not rain? Think of it this way: you've got a project, a household project. Let's say one of your tools isn't working properly. If your tools aren't working properly, you can't get the project done, right? Or it's really hard to do that. It's kind of what's happening here. Our forecast models, our tools they're not agreeing with one another. And it makes it very difficult. And so that's why I try to be as transparent as possible. Because a lot of times you'll watch a forecast, be like, they just kind of go with one. And in fact, a lot of times they'll pick the European. But, we'll see. We'll see what happens. But stay tuned. That's the bottom line. You got to stay tuned to that forecast because this is one of those things where as we start getting closer to next week, we can hopefully get a little bit more agreement in those forecast models. But the Climate Prediction Center is predicting wetter than normal conditions really for the first week of February. There you can see your moisture. This is again looking at the atmospheric river. This is the GFS. There it is for Friday, right? And then Saturday it shifts to the south a little bit here, especially in the afternoon. See how it shifts to the south. Then on Sunday, it's back over us. Then Monday, Tuesday, look at this, shifts to the south. And really by this point, this is not much of an atmospheric river, if any. There's that area of low pressure kind of diving down to the south. You see that atmospheric river now down to the south over Southern California, but not over us, where it's still dry based on this model. So let's talk about the atmospheric river impact. And I'm going to show you two different models here. AR1 is the weakest, AR5 is the strongest category. As we go into your Thursday night and Friday, there you can see that weak atmospheric river. Good old-fashioned rain. Not much of a concern for flooding, mudslides, debris flows. Still a minor chance because we're kind of inching closer to AR2. Once we get into AR2, that's when you have the potential for flooding, minor flooding, and some mudslides, debris flows. So slight chance, but otherwise it just drops after that. We go into Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, no more atmospheric rivers for Northern California. All right, let me show you the European forecast model. Did you see that? Let's do a comparison. There it is. Look at that. The European forecast model wants to keep us with that atmospheric river conditions at least through Monday into Tuesday. And then look at this, it's kind of trending upward again. We're going to Wednesday into Thursday. So again, there's that discrepancy, a lot of things that we got to watch and monitor here very closely. I hope this is what happens, but I cannot in good conscience tell you that's what's going to happen. Because again, we start getting closer to that time frame, the euro may be backing off a little bit here, or the GFS may start coming into alignment with this. We'll see. But it's a lot more confidence when they both agree on the same solution. So again, just kind of giving you the daily look at the lake levels. We dropped from 119% yesterday to 118, so a slight drop for Lake Shasta. But otherwise, we're still over 120% for Trinity Lake and Lake Oroville. And your ski report, you can still get up there and ski at the Mount Shasta Ski Park. They've been making snow at these cold nights. But for those of you that have been out there and you're concerned about the conditions, no need to worry anymore, right? We could see 1 to 2 feet of snow, I think, for the Mount Shasta Ski Park at the base. I think we could easily see a couple of feet of snow at the summit of the ski park. So yes, right? That's just through Saturday. And if we can get more rain and snow going into next week, we're going to put more on top of that as well. All right, so there you can see your wave heights for today. They're fairly low. They will increase Friday morning and then kind of back off again Friday afternoon. But those wave heights are going to increase with that storm system pushing through. Winds today will be from the south at 15 to 20 knots. Waves from the northwest at 3 feet at 12 seconds. Now, we've got the patchy dense fog in there. Mainly just a lot of those clouds overhead. Later this afternoon, evening, that will be a small craft advisory. So just be aware of that if you need to be in that small boat. All right, here's your Trinity County neighborhood forecast. Temperatures today, mid-50s, low to mid-50s out towards Highway 3, 56 degrees out in Douglas City. Let's take it to the south, about 52 degrees for Wildwood, 53 for Mad River, 53 in Forest Glen, and Ruth, about 55 degrees. Here's your North Coast neighborhood forecast. Time's kind of swinging around a bit. 52 degrees in Miranda, 52 degrees for Garberville, 51 for Red Crest, and Honeydew, about 49, as well as Shelter Cove. 54 degrees in Ferndale, Fortuna, 53 for Hydesville, and 52 in Rio Dell. Let's take you up to the north. And there you can see about 55 degrees for Blue Lake, 56 in Hoopa, 58 in Willow Creek, Trinidad. About 53 degrees, 54 degrees for Orleans, 46 Gas Key, and Oric, a high of about 50 degrees. Here's your Siskiyou County neighborhood forecast. Your temperatures along the Highway 96 corridor, temperatures in the mid-50s, give or take. Dry, increasing clouds, low 50s for I-5 corridor there. There's Scott Valley, 51 for Greenview, 52 degrees in Etna. Fort Jones, about 53 and 52 degrees out towards Callahan. 51 in Weed, 48 in Tule Lake, 46 for Doris. A little bit warmer for Mount Shasta City, about 51 today, and 49 degrees in McLeod. All right, there's your Modoc County neighborhood forecast. Newell, 51, 51 for Fort Bidwell, as well as California Pines. 55 in Alturas and Likely. Here's your Eastern Mountains neighborhood forecast. So Bernie, borderline Friday. You may borderline set, probably not on Saturday. I think it'll be mainly in the form of rain and then mainly in the morning. And then Sunday, you're about 4,000 feet. So probably, again, borderline. I'd say, uh-oh. My computer just crashed, folks. Whew, what? Hey, that's not good. Let's load her back up. And then once it does, here, I'm back here. That was weird. Let's load up the show here and see what happens. Wow, that was I think it's just so much going on, right? It's like, oh, I can't handle all this. What's going on? All right, so let's load up the show. Let's see if we can do this here. I think we left off. We'll do. I think it was Eastern Mountains is where I kind of had gone to. Let's get that going. There we go. All right, let's try this again. This is where it crashed on me. So again, you can kind of see what's going on here. Temperatures upper 40s, even some low 50s in there as well. All right, let's take you down to the south. There's Lake Almanor and, of course, Lassen Volcanic National Park. We've got the dry conditions today, but that storm door is opening, and we got that rain moving on in. Down to the south, you can see Paradise, and there's a look at your Susanville 7-day forecast. Look at, again, the snow levels. 4,500 feet Friday, 6,000 feet Saturday, back down to 4,500 feet on Sunday. And that's if we were going to go off the GFS. If we're going off the European, probably more like 6,000 feet again on Sunday. We'll see. We'll see. We'll have to kind of watch that closely. 58 degrees for Hamilton City, 58 degrees in Chico. Of course, this is your Valley neighborhood forecast brought to you by Walgamith Painting. 56 in Pasquenta, 58 for Chico, and 58 degrees for Oroville. There's your Oroville 7-day forecast. If you're new, or if you've been watching Weather NorCal for a while, this is new. Oroville is here. And why? Because we're doing a full screen Chico 7-day forecast. What do you say, right? So there you can see temperatures mid-50s. We got showers off and on through the weekend. Now, again, here's what I'm doing with the 7-day forecast. Monday, that's actually not correct with the groundhog. Groundhog should be on Sunday, folks, not on Monday. Forgot to edit that. But what you'll see here for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday is we have got clouds but no rain. That doesn't mean it's not going to rain. That just means, again, kind of illustrating that discrepancy I was talking about. I still think there's a chance for rain every day through next week. But still, again, that uncertainty as to which days see most of the rain and which days don't. 55 in Lakehead, 58 degrees in Palo Cedro, 58 in Cottonwood, and 58 for Redding. And there's a look at your Red Bluff 7-day forecast. Now we're going to take a look at your Redding 7-day forecast. Probably the same story, yeah. It's showing the groundhog on Monday. The groundhog should be on Sunday. Again, I forgot to edit that this morning here, but should be moving that on over. Let's do that right now. Let's show you the powers of how quickly I can do that. We're going to go here, we're going to go here, we're going to go here. Last holiday was Martin Luther King Jr. Day. All I got to do right here is go into here and throw in the groundhog. What? How easy was that? Make it a little bigger so you can see it. Save. We'll save it. And then we go here and we look at the 7-day forecast, and there it is. There's the proper day on Sunday. All right, so there, of course, Monday, Tuesday. And remember I was talking about, again, the discrepancies that we're seeing in the long-range forecast models, making the forecast very, very tricky. So that's going to do it. That's going to do it for our forecast. What am I doing? Why did I get the cameras in here? There you go. Yeah, we went a little long this morning, but what do you say we wrap up the show? Got a little bit of a mess behind me. Typically, you can't see that. Some papers, some paperwork. There you go. So there you have it, folks. There, again, is a lot for us to unpack, and hopefully as we start getting into the next couple of days, the forecast model started agreeing a little bit better. But that's what I try to be as transparent as possible so you know when there are uncertainties within the forecast. So that's what that's my approach. That's always been my approach. Transparency, 100%. That's what it's about, folks. So that's going to do it for us this morning. We're going to go ahead and get you to some of the cameras to wrap up the show here. And in the meantime, have yourselves a great morning. Have a great afternoon. We'll see you right back here again tomorrow morning. Be sure to keep checking in throughout the day because we're going to be looking at the latest forecast models and see if we start seeing any changes and any agreements. So in the meantime, have a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow morning, Friday edition of Coffee with Krueger. We'll see you bright and early at 7 a.m. Have a great day.
Mount Shasta Resort.